Well, I'd like to call on board Mr. Karan Bajwa, Managing Director, Microsoft Corporation India Private Limited, for our first keynote. Round of applause for him as well, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, a full house on an India-Bangladesh elimination round tells me that you love Azure. It's a delight to be with you on day 2 of the second Azure conference that we are doing. We did one in Bangalore last year. It was a hit, and this is a bigger conference than what we did last year. Now, I hope you all had a great day yesterday. I had an opportunity to meet up with lots of people across customers, partners, and it was great learning. The one thing I love about such events is the feedback we get. It allows us to get better every day. So we would really ask you to give us very candid feedback. That's the only way we're going to be successful together. I happened to go across to a room next door at about 10:30 p.m. And I saw about 150 people, very energetic, coding away. And I was told that they left the room in the morning at 6 a.m. That's the excitement that these technology innovations bring to all of us. So once again, thank you. It is a great effort for you to bring out these 2 days and be with us. So I hope you get the best worth of your time by the time we end this day. Now, there were some of you who were with us last year. And last year we spoke about the changes that we are driving in the technology space and the work that we are doing with Azure in India. I spoke about the transition that the cloud is allowing us to do, and the fact that in my own life, 25, 26 years of being in the industry, I've never seen a transition go so fast from incubation to mainstream. And that journey continues. In fact, it's only pacing up over the last 12 months. What started as a conversation with CIOs about 3 years ago is the new normal. The cloud is really the new normal. We also spoke to you about what we are doing in India and the fact that Azure is well on its way to be, I should say India is well on its way to be the fastest growing region for Azure globally. As we reconvene 12 months later, I'm sure there are lots of questions in your mind about what's happened in the last 12 months. What have we changed? What are our customers saying? And what has Microsoft done differently with the ecosystem? Allow me to answer some of these questions and also share with you our journey over the last 12 months, if you will. But before I go there, let me talk about the public cloud market. And this is data that is available publicly from Gartner. 2013, the cloud market in India was about $400 million. Grew 30% in 2014 to $550 million. Scheduled to grow 50%, slated to grow 50% in 2015. And take this argument up to 2018, we're talking of a $1.8 billion market. Now, when I look at what we have done over the 2 years from 13 to 15, we are well ahead of this growth curve. In 13, we recorded triple-digit percentage growth, and in 15, we are well on our way to record again triple-digit percentage growth. So one, we are gaining market share. It's very important to know we are gaining market share. That's one part of the story. What's most exciting for us is the market making. The $1.8 billion in 18 is exciting, but we want to make this market into multi-billions of dollars. So our endeavor has to be to gain market share, but more importantly, make the market in this space with the cloud. And I'll talk about the investments we are making in this space and how we're going to now take the cloud to people and places who have not consumed IT in the past. That's the real excitement for us. And this growth is not coming from one place, folks. It's not coming from one set of people. It's coming from across. If you look at the top end of enterprise, the top end of enterprise is really overcoming its inhibition to get to the cloud. And now customers at the top end of enterprise are going on scale. I'll give you 2 examples of companies. One, which has told us very clearly they want to shut down their data center. Now, this was blasphemous a couple of years ago. On the other hand, we have a CEO of a very large IT company telling us that he's going to be stopping all on-premise hardware purchases. Very bold moves, unthinkable a year ago or a year and a half ago. That's what we are seeing at the top end of enterprise. And then we are seeing a whole new breed of companies emerge. Companies who've never seen the legacy, who are building solutions for the cloud in the cloud. We call them the born in the cloud partners, born in the cloud companies, if you will. And then we have the large Indian SIs who are excited on 2 platforms. One's building solutions and applications for the global consumption. But more importantly, they are scaling up their internal consumption to test out the cloud and take those experiences and best practices to the global markets. And then we have a whole lot of first-time users who are spiking the cloud usage. So this is all causing almost like a tsunami, which is building up. And that's what we are getting up as I talk to you about the investments we are making in this space. We have accelerated our engagement. And we've accelerated our engagement with the ecosystem. Every time a technology innovation happens and gets adopted on scale, it doesn't happen because of speeds and feeds and because something looks better than the other person. It happens because of the ecosystem that gets developed along with it. Microsoft's philosophy has always been to build large ecosystems. Look at our history. Every time we had a launch of a large project, we've always taken the ecosystem along, the partners, the developers. That's what we've always built. And that's what we are doing exactly now as well. Let me share with you a few data points, very exciting data points of the journey that Microsoft India has had over the last 12 months. What I'm going to share with you is Microsoft India over the last 12 months. Number one, we are extremely proud of the work that we've done with ISVs. We have over 200% growth on ISVs building solutions on Azure in India. That's a lot of hard work that these people have done. We now have over 2,500 startups, some coming off our accelerators and incubators, our own plus the ones that we are partnering with, and some coming off the largest startup ecosystem. India is the second largest developer pool in the world, and that's the number we have touched. That's the number of IT pros and developers we have touched over the last 12 months, 200,000 developers and IT pros that we have enabled, trained, and taken onto the Azure platform. Partners who've transacted with us, built solutions with us, and taken them to market, we've seen 200% growth. I'm extremely excited with this line, 163% revenue growth. And we are mindful of the fact we started small. We started small 3 years ago. We grew triple digit. We grew triple digit in 14, and we are continuing on that path in 15 as well. And finally, the take-up rate of customers on the cloud continues to be very, very strong. That's the number of customers coming onto the cloud every month, including trials and paid customers. That space, ladies and gentlemen, that's a number we had shared with you earlier as well. When I look at this picture all up, it's a pretty picture. This tells me and gives me the comfort that we've done 365 days worth of work in the last 1 year. So I really want to thank you all for supporting us in this journey for the last 12 months. And we are making bold bets. Looking at all this excitement, we are making bold bets in the country. We believe in the potential that lies in this country with this technology transition. I believe that cloud can be, for India in this decade, what mobile was in the 90s. You all recall the mobile journey. You all recall how this country leapfrogged 2 to 3 generations of technology buying because we almost had no legacy on telecom. And that's what I believe, even though the picture is not as grave on IT as it was in telecom, but I still believe that there can be a huge leapfrog of technology that happens with the cloud. Companies that have technology already, they're going to be innovating in a very different way. And companies that have never had IT are going to be able to adopt IT in a manner which is easy to consume, easy to adopt, cheap to bring on board. And that's what's going to happen. Now, looking at that excitement and the belief we had in this country, we had Satya, our CEO, announce cloud services of local data centers, and we made this announcement in August 2014, and we said we would launch services in calendar 15, and I'm very happy to say, and we shared this with you yesterday as well, that we are well on our way to launch the services very shortly within the calendar, and 2 of our most commercially successful services, 365, Office 365, and Azure. What excites us about this country is the 250 million Indians that have some form of a connected device, a mobile, a tablet, a PC, a gaming device, whatever it takes. And their ability to consume services off the cloud, that's what's excited us to make this investment in this country. And further, we're taking this argument over to the government as well. The government has made some very bold postures on their Digital India vision. And we would like to believe, And we would like the government to believe that this data center is not just an investment from Microsoft, but it's a part of the critical infrastructure the country has. Like it has roads, building, and bridges, etc. This is a part of the critical infrastructure that this country has, and we are working very closely with the government to make sure we are an integral part of the Digital India vision, and we are having those conversations. We are now having a much more open conversation with government than ever before. And Bhaskar shared with you yesterday, maybe shared with the press conference, he says, for the first time, we're actually seeing the government ahead of the private sector in terms of their aspirations. So we've got to keep pace. This is the entire excitement. This is what we are doing in this country. And I would like to say we are well on our way to bring cloud services of local data centers within the calendar. Now, as customers consume the cloud, as customers taste the cloud, their aspirations are also increasing. They want to see more. And the local data centers only takes up the whole argument, takes up the whole conversation. Let me touch on a few differentiating factors. A few things that we believe are very different for us vis-a-vis what we see from competition. Customers want speed. Customers want faster response from their services. Latency is important for them. Customers want fast provisioning deployment of services, workloads, servers on the public cloud. And what we are doing is targeting a 5x improvement in latency as we bring public cloud into the country through local data centers. With features like Azure Express Route, we're bringing to you a dark fiber-like connectivity into your data centers. You almost have that dark fiber-like experience as you connect with your data centers. If you haven't seen this feature, the Azure Express Route, I would really encourage you to reach out to the Microsoft people and the partners and learn about that. People are not happy with downtime anymore. Downtime for patch management, downtime for maintenance, proactive, whatever it takes, people are not happy with that. They want a service that runs all the time. And even if it goes down, they want it back up seamlessly so that end user doesn't experience any downtime. And that's what we are bringing to the table when we talk of DR in the public cloud. Customers come and talk to us and say, hey, what can you do about DR in the public cloud? And can you help us seamlessly fail over in case we have a service downtime? And that's what we do with Azure Site Recovery. Again, I'm giving you these pointers to go back and have deeper conversations with your counterparts and your partners at Microsoft. Scale's a given for the cloud. Scale's one of the reasons people do the cloud. Burst capability, burst handling is one of the reasons people do it. One of our customers, a very interesting company, I won't take the name, they've asked us to build capacity at 200% of normal on Saturdays and scale down on Sundays. That's the kind of scenarios we are seeing. And when it comes to scale, what we are talking of is millions and millions of connected servers in the whole environment across the world. Each data center region for us represents almost 600,000 servers. And we have 19 such data center regions across the world. India is one such data center region. That's scale in your hands. That's the scale we're talking about. And that differentiates us. And then it's economics. The argument on economics is no longer about CapEx to OpEx. It's no longer about pay as you go. That's a given. But customers want cloud-like economics on mission-critical workloads, not tier 3, tier 4 workloads alone. That's what they started doing 2 to 3 years ago. But they want cloud-like economics on mission-critical applications. And I think it's a myth to say that mission-critical applications always need very expensive infrastructure. The cloud's breaking that myth. There are scenarios, test and dev, in mission-critical applications that you can take to the public cloud. The fact that we now work with SAP, partnership with Oracle, with IBM, with Linux, allows us now to bring that cloud-like economics to the mission-critical workloads as well. And we heard, and you heard yesterday from us, any device, any OS, any application, any platform. That's the differentiator that we are bringing to the public cloud. Anybody who needs to be successful on the cloud has to respect legacy investments. There is no shortcuts to that. Let's face it. People who don't respect legacy investments are people who don't have a way to integrate with legacy. And legacy is a reality. That's a reality. We have to respect your on-prem data center investments. We have to respect your cross-platform applications. And what differentiator we bring to the table is the fact that we can take those applications without touching the platform and bring them onto our public cloud. We're going to have a follow-on conversation where we're going to talk to you about the work we're doing with open source. That's the differentiator we bring. And the differentiator we bring to the table is the hybrid environment. Think of the government. The government set up data centers across every state. Billions of dollars of investments. Is that going to go waste because we have the public cloud? Absolutely not. They're going to keep those investments and they're going to grow in the public cloud. That's what we can allow them to do. So a hybrid environment. That's the differentiator we bring to the table, and that's what will make us successful and differentiated from competition. And finally, innovation. People want to realize the power of innovation that happens in the cloud. And talk about innovation, almost 100 new services over the last 12 months. That's the scale of innovation we're talking about. That's the pace of innovation we're talking about. And building on top of that is our partner ecosystem. Put together, it's a very exciting world. You heard Dave yesterday talk about machine learning, talk about IoT and big data. So put together, these are a few pointers for you to go in and build your conversations with the Microsoft teams. And we really love to partner with you as you go through this journey. As we get closer to the launch of the local data centers and services of local data centers, it unlocks a very large part of the locked market that has been in this country, that has been sitting in this country because of many reasons, and I'll talk about those reasons. Banking, financial services, hugely restricted on where data sits because of regulatory requirements. Governments have never spoken to technology companies about the public cloud purely because they've had this huge concern about data sovereignty. And rightfully so, we respect those reasons. State-owned enterprises, and a large part of enterprises as well. They've been concerned about data sovereignty, security, regulatory compliance, latency issues. And we are now in a position to have very, very strong, reasonable, data-based conversations with them, bring them to the table, and discuss on how their journey to the public cloud can happen. And what I'm most delighted to share is that Microsoft is the first multinational to take a bet on a local data center of this scale. And this morning I was reading a news from one of our competition who made it very clear that they have no plans to launch India data centers. That is the level of commitment and the belief we have in this country that we are bringing to bear as we launch this big wave of commitment to the country. Now, it's just not about us knowing all these things, but it's about bringing that capability to the larger ecosystem. Government will go to the public cloud. The question is when. Banks will go to the public cloud. The economics will have to realize the economics and make that happen. The question is when. So what we are trying to do is launch this Cloud Accelerate initiative, this forum that we have today over the last 2 days. We're trying to launch this Cloud Accelerate program, which is basically an aggregation of all the assets we've learned. How does an organization take a decision on what goes to the cloud? Which application is ready to go to the cloud? What are the key decision-making criteria to go to the cloud? What is the migration strategies that you have? We almost put together like an intellectual asset that we've gained over a period of time, and we are bringing it to bear. We're starting this initiative with 15 partners. We're starting with 15 partners across large consulting companies, born-in-the-cloud companies, system integrators, and we will expand this. But really, if there is anybody in the room who's in the past been hesitant to go to the public cloud for whatever reasons, we'd love for you to jump on this program as soon as possible and accelerate your journey to the cloud. So that's pretty much what I had to share in terms of what we are doing. Exciting times for us, hugely exciting moves that we are seeing in the marketplace, and we would not have made such a large investment. And at the press conference yesterday, we were being pushed to say how much is the investment, and we finally ended up saying huge. That's all we shared. But it's a huge investment. And the idea is not about how much money we are putting in. The idea is what can happen with that investment. What is the change we can drive in the marketplace? So we are hugely excited. But what I want to do is also share that excitement through people who've actually adopted the cloud, partners and customers. I'd like to first invite Raghavendra Tripathi, the CIO of Ramco, who's been on this journey with us very, very late. Raghavendra, if you could join us on the stage, please. Hi, welcome. Please come, please. I remember 5 years ago seeing hoardings of ERP on the cloud at the airports. So you were among the first people to start offering ERP on the cloud. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think Ramco was, in fact, the first product-based company from India. You know, while a couple of years ago, 16 years ago, everybody was betting on services, Ramco was the first company to bet on product. And then we continued on that, and we came up with our first platform way back in early year 2000. And subsequently, we launched our cloud solution around roughly 5 years ago. And I'm glad to let you know that Pune was the first city where we launched our cloud ERP on cloud in India. And in terms of the journey, you know, what we have seen on the cloud is that we have really seen the adoption of cloud in a big way, not even in India and also globally. We also see that it has allowed us to leapfrog, you know, compared to other legacy ERP players. It gave us an opportunity to disrupt the status quo or disrupt the marketplace which was there. And it is giving us the right mind share in front of the customers and our prospects so that, you know, we can really offer solutions which make business sense. They are unlike ERP, which can be at best a system of records. You know, rather, you know, we are able to come up with innovative solutions which are solving real case business problems for our customers.
Wonderful. Is it opening new market segments for you? The fact that you're a cloud-first ISV, is it opening up new market segments for you?
Absolutely. You know, so if you look at, you know, 5 years ago when we started this cloud journey, we started targeting the small and medium enterprises because we thought, you know, that they are the underserved segment of the market because affordability was a big question mark for them, you know, with the legacy ERP applications. So we saw consistent adoption which is coming from this segment. However, maturity remains a problem in this segment. So we have restricted our exposure to this segment close to around 10% of our revenue.
Rather, you are a user of Azure, and Azure has an array of services features. What are the top 3 services that you are using or planning to use?
Yeah, in terms of today, we are using Azure Compute, you know, but we are really looking forward to Azure Machine Learning. We are looking to Azure Insight, HoloLens, because we believe these point solutions are going to be the real solutions which are going to solve the business problems of our customers. For example, last year we launched electronic flight back on Windows Surface tablet in US. One of our customers uses it, and it has done away with all, you know, a big bag, you know, which pilots and helicopter operators used to carry, and offline update of records and those kind of a thing, and which has enabled, you know, it syncs in real time. It enables them to plan their activities and ensure, you know, when the plane lands on the, you know, at the airport, there is somebody to serve, and the plane goes back, you know, into the business really fast. And what it means for the business is that, you know, it's always in the air. It's trying to mint money for them most of the time.
Wonderful. Now, there are lots of ISVs in the room who are thinking about this journey to the cloud. Can you share any learnings from your experience that they can learn from in terms of the journey to the cloud?
I think definitely, you know, a couple of points, you know, I would like to mention over here is that it's extremely important to know that we are in the idea-based economy today. You know, a couple of years ago, or maybe a couple of decades ago, we used to talk about resource-based economy, whether you have access to resources, you know, you can be in business. Then we moved to manufacturing, then we moved to services. But today, if you really look at, you know, we are in an idea-based economy where if you have ideas, you know, they can be transformed into business really, really fast. You know, because we have partners like Microsoft, we have nexus of forces, you know, which is in the form of cloud, mobile, analytics, and social, you know, which can really move us from idea to business really fast. And in Ramco, what we have done is that we have kind of broken that barrier of communication within the organization. So we no longer say that innovation happens only in the R&D labs of Ramco, but it happens all over the organization. So if people have good ideas, people can test it, try it on Azure or that kind of a platform. And one thing we need to be assured is, or ensured is, that it is really solving some business problem. Because if it is just for fun, it is not going to help, But if it really solves the business problem, then partners like Microsoft and Azure can make it available, at a speed, which we would not have thought in the past, and the reach, which can go all over the place. So that is the advice would be to the partners, that have an idea engine, try it, test it, and once you are sure that it's really solving somebody's business problem, transform it into a real business.
Thank you very much, Raghavendra. And for those of you who need any learnings, these guys spoke about the cloud 5 years ago. So catch them on the sidelines of the event. So thank you very much for coming along with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would now like to call upon, as they would say, the son of the soil, somebody who's been in Pune for many years. And I was told very rightfully yesterday that his company celebrates 25 years of completion this year. In fact, the anniversary is in a couple of days' time, and it times very well with our completion of 25 years of being in this country. I have extreme delight in inviting Dr. Anand Deshpande, the founder and chairperson of Persistent Systems. You seem to have a big fan following here already.
Local here.
No, I'm told that Persistent is a great recruiter of talent. So the best thing we thought we could do to you is bring all these wonderful people to Pune, so you could get your job done easier.
Now we are hiring.
Sorry, please. Now, you've been in the industry for 25 years, more than 25 years, and you've seen many transformations happen. Can you talk about the cloud transformation and how do you see that differently playing out?
So we've been in the cloud for many years, and now we've been working in that area. What I see that is different in the last couple of years is that there is a lot of activity where cloud is not restricted only to ISVs or product companies or software developers, but practically everybody is on the cloud now. And more businesses are becoming software-driven businesses. And as companies become software-driven business, the fact that you're on the cloud allows you to move very quickly. So we are seeing two different things happening in the cloud. One around what we refer to as IT modernization, where existing hardware and existing activities are moving into the cloud. Along with that, we see a lot of transformation coming in because of newer things that you can do because of the cloud. Once you have your infrastructure in the cloud, you have data and other applications in the cloud. The ability to combine different things together really is very exciting, and that's what the transformation is all about. Wonderful. And that's creating a lot of opportunities for people, including developers.
Great, wonderful. Now, you are adopting cloud in your own organization as well as, more importantly, taking it globally as well. What scenarios do you see playing out as people adopt cloud?
Right. So practically, every business wants to move on to the cloud, and they are leveraging the cloud to transform their business in interesting ways. So we see a lot of activity around data and analytics as being a big driver of how people are going to do various apps and technologies around that. So the three things that we are focusing a lot on are apps, API, and data.
Wonderful. Now, on the sidelines, you and I were speaking about how this transformation is going to change what people do and sort of fade off the lines that people have classically had in the life cycle of development. What career advice would you have for the IT pros and developers as this transformation unleashes?
Correct. So see, what is happening in the market is that because of the cloud and the fact that infrastructure is now available at a much higher level of abstraction, you don't really need to write code the way we used to write, say, 10 years back when we were worrying about client-server distribution and various other issues. You can get things done very quickly and really fast. So the speed and user experience are the two most important things that people need to keep in mind. And as a consequence of that, as a young developer, you need to focus on the full life cycle of the product. So you should be able to think about what it would take to build the entire thing rather than be siloed into doing one part or the other part, because teams are shrinking, projects are getting tighter and being built very fast right now. So user experience and agility are the two key things that I would encourage everyone to think about. Wonderful.
Dr. Deshpande, you've been a wonderful partner and customer to us all over these years. All the best. Thank you very much. Thank you. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a quick snapshot of where we are and hearing from our customers and partners. I think the message I want to leave you with is that we are well on our way to accelerate our journey. I would love to be with you 365 days later and report even better progress. I wish you all the best. Join us on this journey and have a great day. Thank you very much.